Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Please be joined by Nate Imbuzeiro of Northville boys basketball. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Well, what a big win last night by you guys, beating Canton. I think for the first time in a while. I mean, coming into the season, Canton hadn't lost a league game in as long as I can remember. But what was it like to beat a team that you've had some pretty good games against?
I mean, it was just a great feeling. Like our entire team going into that game wanted to get a W because like we've had so many close games against them, but we've never been able to pull out a W. So to win last night was a really great feeling for the entire team.
Yeah. So really kind of going into, the progression throughout this year, what has it been like just to you know, because you've had some good wins, you've had some tough losses, but it's just seeming like it's just another Northville boys basketball type season.
hmm Well, I mean, we're constantly just trying to take like bigger steps to success. So getting that win last night was another step to just, putting all the pieces together and you know, becoming the best team we can be because we've had a lot of close games and a lot of like learning moments. So now that we're, running on all cylinders and trying to get everything together, I think we can be very successful.
I know we talked to you before the season started, but what are some of the things that, how were the first few months of the year? Like, what was November and December like for this team?
I mean, at the beginning, we kind of struggled to find our way like offensively, I think. We were still trying to figure some things out and build that chemistry and like all the timing was, hard to figure out. But once we got that, like we started finding our success on offense and communicating on defense and being able to get stops when we needed it. So the first few months were rough, but it was important to figure that out, and now we're ready.
Yeah. So, how your ability as a shooter, how has that improved throughout the year?
Well, there was a couple games, where I was getting in a little bit of a slump, and I was finding it was hard to score, but just working in practice and working with my coaches on ways to get open and find my shot has helped me, translate it to the game and stay consistent with my scoring and get open looks.
Yeah. So, kind of talk about like, what was it like through, really the last 2 weeks of December where there really wasn't a lot going on. I know you guys were pretty busy with games, but what was it like just to not have a lot going on, with the holidays all inserted in there?
Well, it was definitely nice for all of us guys just to focus on like the team, you know, really put everything into practice because we don't have to worry about school and everything else going on. We could just, go to practice, put that work in, go hard at each other, make each other better, and then take care of business on game days. So that was definitely nice.
So come, what would did you enjoy the time off? What was it like just to I don't know, because everybody approaches like off time differently because you're in such a routine. You go to practice, you have school, you go home and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Going in and with the holiday break in between, what was that like for you? Just did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the break, or do you just want to keep playing? Or what's like the balance in between that?
Well, it's nice to have some more time to spend with my family, but of course, like I'm taking that time and I'm getting extra time in the gym, going lifting more, I'm trying to take advantage of that time so I can become better, but it is nice to, have a little more time off and spend time with friends and family over the break.
And the reason why I asked that is because, coming out of those 2 weeks then sets you up for what is to come, especially with what we're in right now, where every Tuesday and every Friday you're playing games. Uh,
Mhm.
what has this stretch been like for you? Because how are you getting used to this?
Well, now that we're back into school, it's easier now because we have a routine, so we know like we're showing up. We got to be ready to go to school, get ready to go to practice. It's we're just kind of not going through the motions, but we know what we need to do day in and day out to make each other better. So yeah, it's nice now having that routine.
Yeah. But now, I mean, also you guys are tied right atop the standings. I mean, with Novi and Brighton, what's it going to be like? Because anytime we go and play in this division, it always seems like it's always a battle with teams, and I know Canton will find its way back in the mix as well. But what was it like to get that big win, and now heading into a couple big games with Plymouth, who almost beat Brighton in overtime, and then I don't think I need and then of course the big game against Novi next Friday.
Well, yeah, I mean, last night was huge for us to, get that win against Canton, so we stay in the race for first. But now we got to look towards Plymouth, who had a close game against Brighton, and we lost to Brighton by I think it was three. So we need to, prepare and practice, take care of business against Plymouth, and then we have Novi on Friday, which is always a huge game. So we're all looking forward to that. And then once Brighton rolls around, we need to be ready to get our revenge and come out with a W. So yeah,
Absolutely. All right. All right, Nate, thank you so much for spending a couple minutes with us, and best of luck against Plymouth.
thank you, of course. Thank you for having me.